Okay, so good day, everyone. In the previous lectures, we have introduced you the most important logical connectives, conjunctions, disjunctions, conditional statements, biconditional statements, as well as negations. Okay, so we can use these connectives to build up more complicated compound propositions involving any number of propositional variables. Okay, so formally, the compound statement or a compound statement is a statement made up of one or more statements or propositions with statement variables P, Q, and R, and at least one logical connective such as the negation, the conjunction, disjunction, as well as the implication, and as well as the biconditional. Right? So these are some examples of more complicated statements. So for instance, this first statement, we are taking the negation of P and Q implies P or Q. And then the second statement, we take both the implication P implies Q and its converse, and we take their conjunction. And then we also take here the implication of P and Q and its converse, and then it all again implies not P. So how do we know which statement to process first? Okay, so there is such thing as the precedence of logical operators. Okay, so wherein we can determine which group of variables should we process first. Okay, so this is generally the precedence of the operators. The negation has the highest precedence, followed by the conjunction, and then the disjunction, and then the implication and the biconditionals have the lowest precedence. Okay, so as I said, the negation has the highest or the highest precedence. So this is negation, or you can also use this this symbol instead. Okay, so for instance, we have this statement, not P and Q. Okay, so since the negation operator has a higher precedence than the conjunction operator or the and operator, then we will process not P first and Q, and not taking the negation of the conjunction of P and Q. Okay, so we do this so that we can reduce the number of parentheses. But this one is more looks cleaner and looks more with less symbols as compared to this one. Okay, so just remember that if you have this kind of statement, it's the negation operator that will take the highest precedence. All right. Now, that conjunction also takes precedence over the disjunction. Okay, so for instance, we have this statement P and Q or R. So putting parenthesis over this one, since the conjunction has a higher precedence, so we put parenthesis or process or group this statement P and Q, okay, and or R, and not grouping the disjunction first and the disjunction first, right? So lastly, it's the implications and biconditionals that have the lowest precedence. So for example, if you have P and Q implies R, so we group the conjunction and disjunction first, which have the higher precedence, followed by the implication and the biconditional. All right. So since rules are difficult to remember, we can use parentheses. Now, how can we determine the truth values of these complicated propositions? So we can use truth tables. So we will be using a separate column to find the truth table of each compound expression that occurs in the most compound proposition as it builds up. So we will show you an example as we go along. Okay.